We've all been there, right? You're watching a huge game and a referee makes a call so bad you're ready to launch the remote through the TV. You're screaming, they have to fix that. Well, here's the thing. Sometimes they actually can. Today, we're diving into one of the most specific and fascinating rules in the book, the correctable error. It's like a tiny but crucial safety net designed to catch those massive, game-altering mistakes. So here's our game plan for today. We'll kick things off with a scenario that seems absolutely hopeless. Then, we'll introduce the rule that acts as a safety net. After that, we're getting into the nitty-gritty, the 5 and only 5 mistakes that can be fixed. We'll look at the ticking clock the officials are racing against, and finally, see how they put all the pieces back together after a correction is made. So picture this. Final seconds of a championship game. Your team's down by 1. Your best player drives to the hoop, gets absolutely hammered on the way up, but the ref just waves it off. Incidental contact, they say. The buzzer sounds. Game over. You just lost. It's that kind of moment that feels completely and utterly broken. So, is that it? Is the game just ruined? I mean, usually a bad judgment call is what it is. It stands. But what if it wasn't a judgment call? What if the official just completely failed to apply the black and white text of the rulebook?
Well, that's exactly where this ultimate safety net comes into play. The NCAA actually has a special rule for these very specific situations, a way to fix what seems totally unfixable. It's called the Correctable Error Rule, and that's what we're breaking down.
And let's be clear, this isn't just my opinion or some fan theory. We're going straight to the source, the official NCAA Men's Basketball Rulebook. We're going to unpack Rule 2, Section 12, which is really a core part of how these high-stakes games are managed.
So what even is a correctable error? Well, the rulebook itself calls it a failure to administer a rule properly. This isn't about a ref who maybe missed a travel. No, this is about a breakdown in procedure, a moment where the rules just weren't followed correctly. And it can only be one of 5, and only 5, very specific types of mistakes.
And here it is. This is the absolute key to the whole thing. The rulebook makes it crystal clear. This does not involve an error in judgment. So a ref thinking a defender got all ball instead of the player's arm, that's a judgment call. You have to live with it. A correctable error is purely administrative. Think of it like a clerical error, but one that happens right on the court. It's all about fixing procedural screw-ups, not second-guessing those split-second human decisions.
All right, so what are these 5 magic fixable mistakes? This isn't some vague, open-to-interpretation category. It is a closed, exclusive list. If the mistake isn't on this list, it cannot be corrected, period. And here they are. You can see right away, they're all about the nuts and bolts of the game. Free throws and scoring. These are procedural things. So let's break down exactly what each one of these looks like in a real game.
Okay, error number 1. Failing to give a player a free throw they earned. The classic example is when a team commits its 7th foul of the half. That's supposed to trigger the bonus, a 1-on-1 opportunity. If the refs just give the ball out of bounds instead, that's a flat-out mistake. It's a procedural error they can and absolutely must go back and fix.
And of course, the opposite is also true, giving someone free throws they didn't earn. Let's say it's only the 6th team foul, but for some reason the refs mistakenly send a player to the line for a 1-and-1. If they catch it in time, they can literally wipe away any points scored from that phantom free throw and reset the play.
Next up, letting the wrong person shoot a free throw. So player A1 gets fouled, but it's his teammate, player A2, who steps up to the charity stripe and takes the shot. That's a huge no-no. The officials can stop play, cancel A2's shot, whether it went in or not, and put the correct player, A1, on the line where he should have been in the first place.
Now this one sounds almost comical, but you'd be surprised. It happens. A player gets a little turned around, steps up to the line, and shoots at their opponent's basket. It's a simple administrative blunder, but hey, if it's not fixed, it could mean points for the wrong team. Luckily, this is another one they can correct.
And the final one on our list deals with the scoreboard itself. Let's say a player goes up for a layup, a defender clearly goaltends it, but the refs get confused and wave off the basket. That's not a judgment call. That's them misapplying the scoring rule. They can stop the game, fix their mistake, and put those 2 points right back on the board where they belong. Okay, so we know what can be fixed. The next logical question is, when can they fix it? And this is so important. You can't just go back and fix these errors whenever you want. There is a very tight schedule, a ticking clock, that the officials have to follow. This timeline here shows just how fast that window closes. So the error happens. After that, the clock has to properly start again. Now the officials have until the first dead ball, the next whistle, to recognize their mistake.
But as soon as the ball becomes live, after that dead ball, that's it. The window slams shut. Forever. The mistake is now officially a part of the game.
So let's just hammer this point home one more time because it's everything. Sending the wrong guy to the free throw line, that's a correctable administrative error. But calling a foul on number 10 when you, me, and everyone in the arena thinks it should have been on number 12, sorry, that's a judgment call, and it is not correctable under this rule.
So, whose job is it to catch these things anyway? Well, the rulebook says it's basically a group effort. A head coach can appeal to the refs, the table officials like the scorer can buzz in if they see something, and sometimes the officials themselves will huddle up and realize their own mistake.
All right, let's say they've done it. An error was made, it was identified in time. Now what? How in the world do they restore order and actually fix a mistake right in the middle of a chaotic, fast-paced game?
The rulebook has a cool term for this, the point of interruption. And this is key. They don't rewind the game clock all the way back to when the mistake happened. They simply pause the game, fix the error, and then resume play from that exact moment of interruption. It's really the only practical way to get things back on track.
And this is absolutely critical to understand. The rule does not give them a time machine. Let's say Team A scores a three-pointer after the error happened, but before anyone caught it. That three-pointer still counts. The time that ticked off the clock, it's gone for good. The rule is like a surgical tool. It fixes only the specific isolated error and nothing else that happened in between.
So, when you put it all together, what do you think? The correctable error rule is this fascinating attempt to impose perfect rulebook logic onto a game that's fluid, chaotic, and most of all, run by imperfect humans. Does it really create perfect fairness, or is it just the best possible safety net we can have? A way of saying, look, we can't fix every single mistake, but we have to at least try to fix the ones that break the fundamental procedures of the game itself. It's something to think about next time you see a wild finish.